Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome everyone to Project Positive Planet. Hi, Kim. Hi, Shane.
Stephanie.
Hi, Dan. Nice to see you all.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
So this is Project Positive Planet. This series is Mindful Leadership, and today we will be focusing on hospitality marketing. Our special guests are Shane Lucero, who's the Director of Sales and Marketing for Springs Resort and Spa, and Danny Silva, Spa Director of Emirates. So welcome all.
Hi.
Hi.
Someone back there.
We're picking up some laughter. I'm not sure.
Probably behind me. There's some people
Too
soaking
much
in
fun,
pool.
Shane. There's just too much fun going on over there.
If I move, you might be able to see them soaking back there.
Okay. I was like, what's that random laughter? Well, Kim, would you like to kick us off?
Oh, sure. So thank you for joining us today, Danny and Shane. I'm excited to have both your perspectives. Like we were talking earlier, Shane, your hotel, the Spring Resort and Spa, has been open for over 20 years. And Danny, you are in an midst of an opening, and you've got some delays in your opening construction. So it's great to hear from both of you how
I think Kim froze. You froze for a second. Hi, you're back.
Okay, sorry. All right, there's no doubt that we've been living through this unprecedented time, a time when travel and the hospitality industry has been chartered on territory that we've never seen before. And we're just in it a few short months, but it's going to be a long road ahead. The entire industry has been brought to a standstill during the post-pandemic. Shane, what are you seeing in your customers' behavior, and what kind of shifts have you been seeing over the last couple of months?
So
how are they reacting to it?
At first, our customers were, just like everybody else in the world, very cautious of what they were doing. And they wanted to make sure that we were providing a safe and comfortable space. So they were inquiring about, what safety measures that we were taking to make them comfortable. And, so of course, just like everybody else, we put a big notice up on our website and everywhere talking about the precautions that we were already taking, and then maybe a couple additional ones. So they were a little cautious at first, but we are a hotel spa, but we're also a hot springs resort, and we have 24 pools that are located outside on the San Juan River. So being able to be outside and being able to be socially distanced really added to their comfort level, which made them more willing to visit here earlier than they probably would visit other places.
Great. I think,
can you hear me now? Yes. Shane, what are the lasting impacts you've seen through the crisis?
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit on that one.
What are the lasting impacts
I can just hear what are the lasting impacts, and then I hear a little cutout.
Of the COVID.
Oh, that we are seeing and hearing? Okay, so the lasting impacts right now, it's just everybody's behavior. There's a little bit more cautious. I think what we're going to have more of is just more socially distant. For example, our bathhouse, where we let our day passes in, we've changed our hours just so we can add an extra few hours before we open and after we open to provide that extra level of sanitation and cleaning in our locker rooms, even in our spa, and just the general area outside. Even though UV ray is supposed to kill the virus, we like to give everything an extra wipe down. So I think that extra step. Also just, I think just people preparing where they're gonna vacation to. They're gonna look at it. They're gonna see, is it all indoors? Is it outdoors? Do I have to fly to get there? Do I have to drive to get there? And things like that. I think they're gonna, be pretty lasting for at least the next year or so.
Sure. Danny, what are you seeing or hearing? You're on the east coast of Florida. What are you seeing?
Well, Florida is an interesting state where hospitality is affected county to county, from Miami to Fort Lauderdale to where I am in West Palm. Things vary in terms of what's available for guests. We are in our pre-opening phases, so we have been mainly interacting with guests via social media and sharing our brand message through that way. We actually started taking hotel reservations last week for March 2021, and we're already seeing guests starting to look for next spring, which is exciting. And I think it really comes back to what people comfortable are with venturing out and being in spaces. Being in Florida, having outdoor spaces that are enhanced by the warm weather is always a positive thing. That's a little bit more about what we have on our end.
Shane, what is the consumer confidence that you're seeing as it relates to travel?
So we're lucky that we are, like I said, we're located in a small remote town in the mountains. So travel's feel safe because as COVID has, swept the nation, we're still under 80 reported cases in our county. So that gives some really big confidence for people that are wanting to travel here. It makes our locals.
Congratulations! That's remarkable.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Our town is small, and we really try to take care of each other. And when we went on lockdown, we did it pretty severely. But just having small numbers like that really makes people feel comfortable in traveling here. So our drive market is really strong, and people are driving a little bit further away. We're seeing, for example, like Denver is only 5 hours from here. Albuquerque's 3, but now we're seeing longer distances. Oklahoma, we've seen lots of Florida plates, and of course, the whole state of Texas seems to love this part of Colorado. So we get them here as well. So traveling to this part of the state is really they're really comfortable with it. And again, because we have an outdoor venue, they just feel more comfortable being able to be out in the sun and being able to get their dose of nature here with us.
I think Stephanie and I need to travel to Colorado and do our next show from there.
You guys need to come over and take a visit.
It's gorgeous. Now, Shane, your property, the Springs Resort and Spa, is already open. How are you handling the guest flow differently than you would have prior to COVID?
I'm sorry, could you say that last part again? How are we handling what?
The guest flow differently prior to COVID, now that you have more restrictions.
All right. So the first thing we did was the guest flow. At first it dropped off, and it was just trying to handle everybody coming back. But the first thing we did, just I think what's industry-wide now, is putting down the markers on the floor, marking off 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, letting people know that there is going to be a little bit longer of a wait. And we put up protective barriers in between, like all of our high traffic places where you deal with guests. So at our front desk, at our bars, the Barefoot Grill, our cafe, people, they're expecting it. So they're expecting the wait times to be longer. But the biggest change has been to our soaking pool area. So our hotel guests can soak 24 hours a day whenever they'd like to. They have their own access, but we're also open to the general public for day pass soaking. And so we have had to limit that number significantly we've set a maximum of 250 people. And that's even below what the state has allowed us to. We just want to make sure that we really provide the comfort and safety that our guests deserve. So we usually float around 200. So we might get 500 soakers in a day, where before we were getting like 1,000.
Oh, wow.
So it's really changed it for us. And then we've changed our hours. We used to be open from 7 in the morning till midnight in the summer for our day pass holders. Now we're open from 9 until 10. And then the other thing that we've done is on all of our pool soaking areas is we've put capacity limits at each pool. So some pools have 4, some pools are 10, depending on the limits. And then we've also just asked and recommended that groups that are traveling together and families that they soak together, just to ensure that have more safety and comfort for everybody around.
Excellent. Now, what things did you keep the same that used to be? Did you keep anything the same, or did you have to really redo everything?
So the things that we kept the same was just still like, we're still welcoming guests near and far, no matter where you come from. You know, welcome to the Springs. We're glad to have you here. The other thing that we just kept the same was our cleaning has always been great. So we've kind of made it more visible of where we're cleaning, but our changes really haven't been the same. We're already doing the highest levels of cleaning and sanitation. So now maybe we just do ours in public about.
Okay. Are you seeing any feedback from any of your guests?
At first with the mask order, we were, but once the state mandated it in all public places, that really took the heat off of us because they know it's not our job. But they are lucky that they only just have to go through a couple of spaces to get outdoors. And the biggest flashback that we got, I would say, was just from the locals at first, because when we first opened up, due to state and local guidelines, we could only open to hotel guests. And so they were able to soak in the pools, and you know, our loyal locals didn't understand it until we told them, you know, this is beyond our control. And so once they realized it, they agreed, and they weren't as angry as before, and they, you know, they put the heat on the local governments, being like, when can we go? When can we go? And so they were really understanding and worked with us once they understood what the problem was.
So no masks in outdoor spaces, Shane?
I'm sorry. No. So yeah, no masks in outdoor spaces. It's not required. In fact, the CDC has recommended against wearing masks while you're in the pools.
Very good.
Now, Shane, for Global Wellness Day, it was the first year that we had to totally pivot within 60 days of the event. You guys had a very special event that you did. You want to share about what you did for Global Wellness Day?
Yeah, so for Global Wellness Day, we were really honored to take part in it. You know, as COVID was hitting the world and we were actually just moving into more of a global wellness push, we were able to put together like a 10 to 15 minute video just talking about all the wonderful things you can do to boost your immune system to stay healthy. And we highlighted all the fun stuff that you could do, not only at our resort, but in Pagosa country. So we talked about, you know, soaking and staying hydrated and getting out and active and the many ways that you can do that. And we were just really honored to be on that panel with the 53 other speakers on that day. It was really nice.
I think Kim might have frozen. Oh. Can you repeat that, Kim?
I said you did a phenomenal job, and what type of positive feedback did you receive?
So people really enjoyed it. They liked seeing the Springs being part of that, being part of such an initiative, because it is important, you know, and we've lately joined like the Global Wellness Institute, and we are heavily in the hot springs initiative. So people like seeing that we're being proactive and really giving those pointers out. When COVID hit and we were closed down, we pushed our marketing to just focus really on how you can stay healthy. You know, didn't have to do anything with us. You know, it's like get out and go hiking, do some breathing exercises, get a lot of vitamin D, hydrate. And so we just stayed present. We're giving all these helpful hints. And so then when it came back to Global Wellness Day and they saw us talking to a bigger audience and also incorporating how we could do it, they really, especially our guests, they liked that. They thought that they were part of it as well, on a different level. But they're like, yeah, we've been knowing this for years. We've been ahead of the game.
Excellent. And then I'm sure once this all hit, you had to create and try new initiatives. What were those initiatives that you guys did?
So, I'm sorry, some new what?
Initiatives, marketing initiatives.
Right. So we actually just incorporated some new health and wellness initiatives and activities. You know, so first we thought about this. We're already in here. What can we do more? So we've incorporated some Aqua Yoga, which is awesome because it's like getting traditional yoga and hot yoga all in the same spot, but you're in a hot spring when you're doing it. So not only are you getting the benefits of yoga, but you're also getting the benefits of all the mineral-rich water soaking into your body while you're doing it. We're doing some guided forest bathing hikes, which is getting people out into nature and just enjoying that. Of course, traditional yoga, we're doing some guide-led contrast bathing, which is really good for the immune system where you soak in a hot spring for a little bit. And then we don't have any cold pools, but we are fortunate enough, and I'll turn my computer a little bit. We have the San Juan River right beside us.
Oh, look at that.
And so people can just hop into the San Juan River, cool off, and then get back into a pool. And then for the winter, we're also doing guided snowshoe forest bathing, which is awesome. We are in the middle of downtown, but there's a lot of trails, mountain biking trails, hiking trails that are just steps away from our resort. So we are like in an awesome little wellness mecca.
Well done, Shane. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been fun, and
You
it's
guys
great
are
to have a team that really supports it.
so happy to hear that there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
There is, just be patient, you know. Every day we say a little prayer, and we're thankful that we are able to be open, because we know so many of our industry partners are not, and we can't wait for them all to get back to the levels where they're normally operating.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Gives us all hope out there.
And we need it.
So we'll go ahead and travel to the other side of the country, to Danny. Danny, tell us, if people aren't familiar with Emirate, just tell us a little bit about what you are creating in Singer Island, Florida.
Sure. Emirate Ocean Resort and Residence is a next generation resort that has different entry points for people. We are a residence, we are a hotel resort. We also have a membership program, and we are also will be open to the public as well. We just started accepting hotel reservations last week for March 2021. We're actually not doing a reopening, we're doing a grand opening. So our opening has been affected by COVID. I would say the things that separate us from other destinations is that our spa, health, wellness facilities, and fitness clubs are about 140,000 square feet of our property, spread over 4 different floors, and we're oceanside as well. So we'll be offering treatments, classes, programming, lectures, and also the facilities with that that you maybe wouldn't typically find at a traditional hotel, resort, and spa.
Beautiful. And so you said March 2021 is the new opening date. How far did you push back because of COVID? And was that due to construction delays, or?
We've had delays with COVID and opening, but opening at the right time. So many properties in Florida have been faced with either reopening and then having to close, and with county regulations and whatnot. So we've just delayed our actual opening to open at the right time. Construction in the state of Florida was deemed an essential business, so we've been able to push along on our construction and development of the property. And with that, we position our date for opening.
Very good. And you've not been quiet while you have been developing. So how have you kept your voice in the marketplace? I've seen some of your initiatives out there.
Yeah, we've had 2 parallel things that we've been communicating on as guests and also our future team members. So for our guests, we've been really active on social media in terms of having the people that are going to be part of the Emirate programming in the future take their specialties to Instagram and Facebook. We've been working on increasing our audience and followers and people who look to our content. And with that, we've also been doing digital marketing to expand the visibility of our content. I'd say that our sound bowl meditation class that we did online over the summer was our most viewed. We had about 15,000 viewers for that video alone.
Wow.
So we've also at this time been cultivating our future employee database as well, and staying in contact with applicants. I think in the industry, everyone maybe has seen that people are talking about their employment and interview process much more than they have been in the past. So we're trying to take care of our future associates like we would our guests. And in turn with that, a lot of our future applicants have also become our social media followers as well. So trying to take care of our guests and our future employees at the same time.
Fabulous. And can you tell me about the Care of the Caregiver contest you did on the front lines during National Nurses Month in May?
Yeah, one of our social media initiatives that we did was a getaway for a future stay, as well as coaching sessions. And we did it during National Nurses Month, and people were able to nominate a frontline nurse or caregiver that is special and near and dear to them. And we ended up having 3 winners. One of them would be coming for a future stay, and the other one we were able to do digital coaching sessions, which is something that's going to be part of our future guest experience for people after they depart, staying at the property for one of our packages. So we were able to kind of pay it forward where we could. So that was really exciting. We had a lot of participation in that initiative. So we were happy to have 3 winners.
That's wonderful. It's so nice to be able to give back to the frontline people out there, taking care of all of us. And then did you all participate in Global Wellness Day this year?
We did. We had, put together something that we thought we were going to be able to do in person for our guests and our employees. But we actually participated on the Global Wellness Summit's Instagram content that they had over the weekend. So we had 2 of our affiliated experts do sessions. One of them was our hair health coach, Dr. Bauman, and then for stress and anxiety, a psychologist that we work with named Dr. Kevin Chapman.
Wonderful. And talk a little bit about what your entire wellness scope looks like at Amaret, because I think it's a very different model than what people think of when they typically go to a spa.
Sure. The antithesis of the property is to be a destination wellness resort, and that starts at our guests' journey upon making their package reservation. We're able to provide guests with a wellness coaching session with a bit of an intake process so that we can customize and personalize the package that they'll receive once they come to the property. And in terms of our offerings, we have a 25-room treatment spa. We have a hammam. We also will be working with traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and functional medicine as well. And we'll have experts on property that can do continuing evaluations and assessments. And we'll be creating what we call a roadmap for our guests, which will be things that they can do for their treatments, services, and lectures while they're on property. But the roadmap actually continues when they depart. So we'll stay in touch with our guests after they leave the property and help them with their health and wellness goals, and be able to provide them with recommendations for our coaching experts and the tools and technology to meet their goals. Our 5 pillars of our property are sleep, mindfulness, nutrition, fitness, and there's a third one. We'll be having experts that will be able to facilitate for our guests. But the thing that's a bit different is we'll also be providing this to our residents and also our members as well. So we're really excited for our opening and to be able to welcome guests into our property.
And I love that you're creating a path so people can continue when they get home. And this, I understand, is maybe the first of many locations.
Yes, that's true. The development team and ownership team has been working on this project for over 10 years. So we're excited to get this property open, and there'll be possibilities for future locations as well.
Yeah, fabulous. And do you have a new initiative that you're working on, a Women in Wellness initiative?
Yes, we do. We have Women in Wellness, which is a new initiative at Amaret, where we're working with bringing together like-minded people in the community to put together a think tank kind of task force group where they can brainstorm and collaborate on initiatives that they would like to see come to fruition. And the goal of that as well is to empower people to take this back to their friends, family, and coworkers, and be able to pay it forward with the things that they're learning about or the programming and experiences that they're partaking in as well. So that is been spearheaded by our ownership group as well. And Miss Kim is one of our women in wellness on our panel. So
Awesome. And how would people get involved with that? I guess reach out to Kim?
well, we're still developing that, but we'll have more information to follow. We just started this in August.
Oh, wonderful. So they heard it here first.
Yes.
Um,
And what's phenomenal about that, they're actually getting the community in before it opens and asking them their feedback, not just based on marketing research. They're going hands down to the group and asking the community what they want and what they need. So I think it's
well, and South Florida has such a niche for that. I mean, just us being in the industry so long, all of us. South Florida, we have such a great community there, spa and wellness professionals.
So gentlemen, there will be a recovery and the hospitality and travel industry must be ready. No one has a crystal ball to see what the future holds or what answers we seek. Therefore, we need to recognize out of the gate standards and normal ways of conducting and managing our business going forward. That will continue to advantage to the economy. We're going to see lots of shifts. Now is the time for out-of-box thinking, industry innovations, and courage to push ourselves forward and our teams forward. Some things we might do might not feel like perfect or they're not our norm. So how, gentlemen, creating an outline for post-COVID marketing strategies? Shane?
So what we're doing for our post-COVID, marketing plan is we're looking at what our customer is. We're a hot spring, so we have a specific customer, and we have a loyal base, which is nice. These are usually people that are using for, they're already coming to hot springs for wellness. They're hot springs enthusiasts. So we just keep on planning to market to them, and even to new hot springs people. I guess new hot springs enthusiasts. We're showing them all the benefits that they have. Not only what our hot springs have, but just the benefits of where we are located, where our town is located. Again, we have less than 100 cases. We're in the middle of the mountains. We're in the middle of the woods. It's easy to social distance, whether while you're at a resort or while you're taking an excursion outside of a resort. So just promoting that more and more and more, because they think health and wellness is really it was already trending, so it's even going to trend more. People saying, how can I get healthy? How can I remain healthy? And how can I get healthier? And so we're just right on the peak of that, are getting ready to go to the peak. So just doing that. And then our marketing plan is digital is huge. Targeted e-blasts, targeted Facebook posts, targeted Instagram. Our demographic lives in the Facebook realm. They're a little bit older. Most of them are retired, especially when we're going through the winter months. So making a space for them that shows that they are going to be comfortable to travel to places like this. And, getting more of our followers and stuff, communicating back with us. When we ask a question, what do you like to do? And then having that engagement is really important to us, because it shows that your audience is paying attention. And once you have your loyal fan base, they're going to spread it out and tell everybody else how good you are. So we're just really working on that personal connection with our fan base and with our current clientele and our repeat clientele.
I love that. So with your older community, they really need to take care of themselves. And are you seeing a lot of the repeat, or are you seeing new people that are following to your way of doing wellness?
So we're seeing both. We're seeing a lot of our repeats that were like, oh my gosh, we couldn't wait till we could come back. Since we were closed, we needed this. Our bodies need this. And then you're seeing the new crop of people that are just discovering the benefits of what hot springs have to offer. And we've already seen repeats from them just from the couple of months that we've been open. There is it was on our Facebook feed the other day. It's like, we've been back 3 times in 2 months. We can't believe how much we love this place.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
What percentage is your day pass market versus stay over?
I don't have the actual percentage, but
Just
like I said, we can only allow in 200 people at a time, and our rooms are sold out they've been sold out every night since we opened.
Wow.
And Danny, what are you guys doing post-COVID for your marketing initiative, going into 2021?
What we've been working on, we're continuing that. So our social media content will continue on with our sessions. We've seen an increase in our followers on all of our social media platforms. I think during this time with everyone having experienced quarantine and working at home, there's been an increase in the accessibility for wellness for people for digital. So I think people have had experience with their at-home workouts, but we've found things like mindfulness and meditation and breath work and sound bowl therapy that maybe spa and wellness people are familiar with, but more and more guests now are familiar with that and have experienced that. And when we're looking at putting together our programming, people's accessibility to that will be heightened based on their previous experiences. For things like respiratory health and immunity, those are big things that people are looking at for their programming. Shane used the comfort level and people's feeling safe. So things with bringing cleanliness and sanitation and not hiding it, I think are definitely important, not just for the hotel rooms, but food and beverage outlets and valet service and car and everything that is part of the guest journey and, what the new norm is. One of the things that we noticed recently with our digital marketing is that the buzzword that guests are using when they're finding us is the word spa. So that is really exciting and good to see because, we want people to feel safe and we want things to be safe, but, massage and spa services is a big portion of our business and people's livelihoods. So to see that most searched word to be spa is exciting to see as well.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And where was the word wellness on that list?
Well, we thought wellness was the word that people wanted to see, so that's the word we were using. And when we were looking back at the actual data, it's spa. So we still lead with wellness, and we want to be able to showcase, everything that we have, all of our services and our amenities and features. But the good old-fashioned spa word was the one that was the most used.
And I think Susie Ellis says it well too. Wellness is an industry term, and well-being is a consumer term for guests that are searching.
Yeah. No, Danny, you brought a good point about the restaurants. What are you? I know you're running the restaurants, and are they doing pickup? Are you dining, sit-down dining? How is that affecting your property?
So with being in pre-opening, we are definitely amassing all this information for what county regulations, state regulations are, and what our peers in the industry are doing for all of our outlets. And then as we get closer towards our soft opening, we'll be able to see at that time what are the things that we need to focus on. But having all of those options available from a social distancing standpoint to a delivery standpoint to in-room dining and having all the options available for people, I think will still be important in early 2021. I don't think people want to go back to where we were, so I don't think people are going to be rushing out of their comfort level. But we have a restaurant, we have an open air outdoor restaurant as well. Our property also have, poolside and beach service dining. And for our residents, they have the opportunity to dine in those outlets, but also order in-room dining or have a chef cooks and prepare meals in their residences or for their room as well. So
I'm coming there. I'm gonna live there. The chef's gonna come cook for them every day. I like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad situation.
Now, Shane, what about you? What are you seeing at your property that you're open? What do your guests want regarding the restaurants and the outlets?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Oh, you cut out.
I can't hear you.
Am I back?
You're back.
Okay, sorry about that. So we just have a small cafe and a barefoot grill. our cafe, we've just limited now to just, it's breakfast and it's just grab and go service only. So order ahead, come in, pick it up, and then you can sit outside and enjoy your meal. Our grill is an outdoor venue as well. So you order at a window and then we'll call it and you come and pick it up as well, and then you can spread out all over the property. No, we don't have an enclosed indoor restaurant right now, and it was maybe on some blueprints, but now post COVID, we don't know if that's going to move forward or not. But it's definitely something to look at. But everybody's been comfortable so far. Again, more visible. I think what the hospitality industry used to like to do is, kind of out of sight, out of mind. You clean it up and nobody knows, and you just expect it to know. But now, being more visible, like Danny said, with that cleaning, it's definitely an added comfort level for guests.
So, Shane, you talked about some new trends. What are the new trends that you're seeing in the hospitality market and that you're hearing and that you're researching?
Just the new trends I'm seeing in the hospitality market it is really like providing. It just seems like health and wellness is a trend that resorts and hotels that weren't there before are maybe trying to move into, and trying to add some form of that. That way people feel like they're doing something for themselves. I also just think in the way that they're marketing, and they're probably going to be marketing their drive markets and changing that a little bit, because we're not going to be able to rely on international visitors or those visitors that are flying across the country right now. So they have to focus a little bit, closer to home, and so changing that whole messaging can be different. And then
Danny,
just again, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And again, just the visibility of the cleaning, of all the cleaning staff, and really highlighting everything that you're doing to clean out. Like, we put UV boxes in all of our hotel rooms, so you can put your keys, the remote control, anything like that in there, just to give that added sense of comfort. So I think that's just going to be trending more and more as well.
Yeah, and with being in the operation industry for over 30 years, I think it's about time that cleaning level went up and those standards.
I agree. I agree. It's nice to see it instead of just blindly trusting that everything is done.
Mm-hmm. Kim, you froze. What did you say?
I didn't say anything. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. And personally, what positive things have you guys seen out of the pandemic? Is there something that's happened to you personally that's been positive during all of this?
For me personally, I taught myself how to cook food. There's a lot of time working at home.
Mm.
And what are you cooking, Danny?
Nothing exciting. Not using the microwave, so.
Yeah.
And how about you, Shane?
So what I've done, it's just kind of been a whole shift. I went out and bought a bike, and so I was mountain biking every day. Just really taking more time to appreciate those family members that you probably should have been spending more time with, and all of a sudden you couldn't. And so, I called my grandma a few more times more than normal. Saw my parents a little bit more, and then bless you. And then I just took a lot more time to figure out what was I doing healthy. I'm 43, and I'm at that age where things start to change, and so I was like, I don't want to go down that road. So let's get healthy. And so it's really made me pay attention more to my health and wellness, and start my own health and wellness journey, which I've been documenting on our Facebook page. I make little videos and stuff about healthy snacks. Like, I went camping this weekend and did a little video on how to make like a healthy caprese dip while you're going. Or I just started running again and talking about the struggles and the rewards of doing that kind of stuff. So it's been a really positive thing for me.
Now, Shane, did you camp like in a tent and a sleeping bag?
Well, I don't like to tent camp, but I do have a little pop-up camper, so I still call it camping.
Okay. Because my idea of camping is at the Ritz-Carlton, so I just want to make sure that we're clear.
Yeah, no, we were definitely out in the mountains, next to a river, no cell service. So it's
God
camping.
bless you. Good job. Okay, I have one more question for the group. Danny, where do you see hospitality in 2021 and then in 2025?
I think certain groups of people are ready to return to spa and wellness and their routine, which is exciting, and everyone's comfort level, of course, for 2021. But I think with the amount of content that people were able to immerse themselves in during quarantine, the spa health wellness industry has seen an increase in all of that for people's, first time for mindfulness, for meditation, and to then have them come back to the spa and to be able to try those things maybe for the first time, I think will be really exciting. And I think that will continue because our number one, Facebook video right now is a sound bowl meditation class with 15,000 people, which is really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then to be able to provide that service and welcome people back, I think we'll see an increase in people trying things that they haven't done outside of just their normal massage or facial service, which is where we've been trying to push the industry. And now we can welcome the guests back to experience that. By 2025, I hope that things are back to the level of where they were, not only for us, but for all of our colleagues and all of our peers who've been, affected by, having to pivot and get through this difficult time. So hopefully there's 2025, there's a vaccine, and, people are able to be back to work. So.
Okay. And what about you, Shane? Where do you see the hospitality industry in 2020?
So I definitely echo Danny's sentiments. I do feel that, the wellness industry in general, and especially the hospitality industry that can get into that market, I think it's going to explode in 2021. Granted that we don't go through a second wave of this, everybody is able to stay open, and even not just stay open, but reopen or open a new place in 2021, because I think that's on everybody's mind. But people are ready to travel. They're sick of being stuck at home. They're sick of homeschooling their kids. They want an escape. So I think that once deemed safe to do so, that the hospitality industry will flourish, and it'll probably be stronger than ever as that goes on. And then in 2025, hopefully that this was our crash course in how to deal with weird pandemics or sicknesses, so people in all levels, like, workers, people in government, legislators, they'll know the right path to take, so it won't be so extreme next time. And we'll have science out there that's going to help us get through it, so it won't be such a hard hit on the hospitality industry and, restaurateurs and everybody else that got hit really hard by this. So, I'm hoping I'm hoping in science and in common sense, and people still having the sense of adventure to keep us going.
Now, Shane, speaking of adventure, your property is open. The Christmas and New Year's is a big for hospitalities. What does your property have planned for the upcoming holiday period?
So we're really lucky because we get a ton of snow. So we get everybody looking for snow. And we're only 20 minutes from Wolf Creek Ski Area, which is famous for having the most snow in Colorado. We oftentimes have the most snow in the country. So people love to ski all day, and then they love to come and soak all evening. But what we have planned, during this, we're planning in the COVID world, is, of course, we're going to decorate all of our outdoor grounds. We change all of our light bulbs. They're red and green. There's garland everywhere, and it's truly magical to be soaking in one of these pools as it's snowing. It's just an awesome experience. In our big lodge that you can kind of see behind me, we decorate everything up in there. We have like a 30-foot Christmas tree in the middle of our atrium. we hired these two couples of Victorian Christmas carolers, and they dress up in the whole garb, and they serenade not only in the hotel, but they'll walk through the pool area because they can stay social distance through them, through the pools. Then our cafe will be doing some really cute little holiday themed crepes. Like they look like reindeer and snowmen and things like that. And then we're also showing some movies from our pool because our hot springs pool, our pools range in temperature from 88 to 112, so it's always warm. So we're going to do some outdoor movies. We're going to be playing It's a Wonderful Life, and then also A Christmas Story, which, are you familiar with The Christmas Story? The little boy
Yes.
who's going to shoot his eye out. So a weird Pagosa backstory on that. All that little boy wants is a Red Ryder BB gun. And interestingly enough, the man who created Red Ryder, was the popular comic strip in the 50s and 60s, is from Pagosa Springs.
Wow.
So we like to play that. It's a fun little connection to our town.
That's great.
I love that. Okay, and I know I keep saying one more question, but I have one more question. As Steph and I sit here and watch you both with backdrops, Danny, you have that beautiful ocean and those beautiful clouds, and Shane, you have those beautiful mountains. Danny, tell me a little bit about the area and your property in your words, because it's just so gorgeous, that water there for the viewers.
So our resort is on an inlet. So it is the most beautiful part of the Palm Beaches, in my opinion, in terms of not only view, but also swimmability. I was just in the ocean yesterday. So, the water is crystal clear. It's warm. The waves aren't too intense. There's also a lot of natural marine life in our area, from, sea turtles to great snorkeling as well. So it was not a bad place to be quarantined on your island.
Yes, beautiful. Shane, verbally tell me a beautiful picture behind you, because I see so many different elements of it, and it's just so gorgeous.
So behind me, what you can probably see is our pools, and then all of the mineral formations that are just naturally occurring from the minerals in the water as they grow. So just like stalactites and stalagmites, it's just the traces of mineral that they leave behind. And then you can see our building is broken up into our property is broken up into 3 lodging facilities, and the one in the back is our lodge, and it's actually a LEED certified green hotel. It was the first one in Colorado. So it's all built with sustainable products. It's heated with geothermal water. It's cooled with river water, so we're really proud of that. Mm-hmm. And then just our area in general, Pagosa Springs is situated in the San Juan Mountains, and we're surrounded by the San Juan National Forest and the Winnemucca National Forest, which provides over 3 million acres of forest and wilderness to get into. So it's the largest in the lower 48. So if you like the outdoors, this is the place to be. We're great for all season fun. Fall here is spectacular with the aspens and the mountains. Everything's green and yellow and red. Spring is awesome. Early summer, floating the river. Summer, we don't get really much hotter than 90 degrees. So it's hot, but not that hot, and it's not humid. So, everybody escapes the heat from the southern states to come up here, and I just feel lucky to be able to be here.
So what you're saying is we should do 1 month in Singer Island and 1 month in the Springs, Colorado.
Yes, and I'm gonna go.
Stephanie, let's do it.
I'm gonna go do the Florida trip with you guys because that place sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Kim, do you have one more question?
I think I ran out of one more question.
Okay.
Sorry. You guys have been awesome. It's been so much fun.
Thank you guys so much. This was exciting.
Thank you for having me.
And what I
thank you for having
love is between a pre-opening and an existing 20 years, you're both are succeeding, you're both are working hard, and you're both there to give the community wellness, spa and wellness. So thank you so much for your hard work, and thank you so much for being leaders in the industry.
Thank you.
You guys have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.